In this video, I'll be working through the question you see on the screen here from the 2025 Leaving Cert Higher Level Maths Paper 2. I'm going to try and show you how to do this question and not just the solution. So definitely pause and rewatch certain parts of the video if you need to. If you're looking for a different question from this paper or a different paper entirely, you should be able to find a playlist in the description below or have a look around on my channel. Okay, let's get into the maths. In question 4, they give us this list of 12 people's ages and they tell us it's in order. That's important, it's in ascending order because one of them is missing. X here is missing, we don't know this number, but we do know the median of this whole list is 17.5. So basically ask yourself, what is the median? The median is the middle number and that's it, but sometimes, as in this case, there's not a middle number. So the middle number, I like to just cover either end all the way in. The middle number is actually these two, or yeah, a better way to say it would be, let's put a little dashed line there. The middle is in between these two. So what do we do there? Well, we just take both of them, x plus 18, and divide it by 2. We get the mean of those two numbers. And they tell us the answer is 17.5. Now at this point, it's okay just to know the answer. What could this number be here to make the middle of the two of them 17.5? It must be 17. But we do it a bit slow with maths. Let's just go ahead and do it. Multiply both sides by 2. We get x plus 18 is equal 35. X is equal 35 minus 18, which is equal to 17. Okay, for part 2, they tell us that the first quartile is 13 and they want us to work out the interquartile range. So what's quartile? It's very similar to median. So I've rubbed out the brackets there. This was a more important way to say median. The middle of this list is right here. And again, there's 12 numbers. So if we put them into quarters, equal quarters, we'd end up putting 3 numbers in this one, 3 in this part, 3 in this, and 3 in this. That means the quartile falls right here, right between 12 and 14, and that's where they get to 13. They're giving you a hint there to try and remind you it doesn't have to be on 12 or on 14. It can be if it's the correct number, and maybe this line fits exactly on one of these, but very often it'll be in between two of them. So the answer here is 13. This quartile here is 13. This median here is 17.5. And this upper quartile, which is important as well, is the middle of these two. 19 plus 22 divided by 2. So, well, let's write all that down. 19 plus 22 divided by 2. That will equal 41 divided by 2, which is equal to 20.5. That's the upper quartile. So the range here, you can sometimes write it like 30 and 20.5. That'd be the range, the interquartile range of this. Although you can also see it as just 7.5. The interquartile range is 7.5 in this case. If you are finding my videos useful and would like to help the channel out, on top of liking and subscribing, probably the best thing you could do is to tell other people doing the exam about my channel. Maybe you could share this video in a class WhatsApp group. Then if you feel I've really deserved it and you would like to buy me a coffee, you could become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. You should find links to that in the description below. Then for part B, we're told that Michael finds the mean and median of a list of 10 numbers. Not the same numbers, we're on a whole new list. I won't rub it out because I'm going to use this as an example here. So these 10 numbers, he then changes the biggest number on the list. In this case, 30 here. He changes that to be an even bigger number. That's important. He didn't make it smaller, he made it even bigger. So let's imagine if I rub out 30 here and made it bigger. First thing I'll note is it will never go down that way because I made it bigger. If I made it smaller, who knows what would happen? It would reappear somewhere lower down. Made it bigger to be, let's see, 10,000 there. I'm going to make it. How would that affect? In this case, they're asking us about the mean and the median. So would it affect 17.5 in this case? It wouldn't. 17.5 came from just these two numbers. And these two numbers didn't change where they are when this got bigger. If it had got smaller, it might have changed everything. But it didn't. It got bigger, didn't change anything there. But what about the mean? The mean comes from adding up every single number and dividing by, in this case 12, in their case 10. That would change it. This, in fact, changing this to 10,000 would make, imagine these were ages and this is some immortal being. the mean age here would be probably like 1,000 years old. And that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't tell you anything about this class. The average age isn't around 1,000. The median in this case would be much more useful. The median here be 17.5. Okay, so the answer to their question is tick the box, mean only. It would, will it change the mean and median? It'll only change the mean. And that's the answer. Justify your answer. I'm terrible at this. I'm terrible at putting it into English. Basically, waffle on things I said will get you the marks. You'll get your marks quite easily for justifying. You basically just want to say a few things that are true. In this case, what will get you all the marks is explaining how the mean works and explaining how the median works in relation to this. For example, if you wrote something along the lines of it would change the answer to the mean because the mean looks at every single number. That's an answer they would be very happy with. Well, you'd want to add in then it will not change the median because the median only look at the middle number or middle two numbers. And in this case, they wouldn't have changed because the biggest number got bigger. Something like that would be more than enough for them. Honestly, they give marks quite easily for justification once it makes somewhat sense. Right, on to part C. In part C, they give us, I think it's another classroom of people and their ages. In this case, though, they've grouped people together. Everyone that's between 24 and 30, they put in this group. There's 4 of those people. There's 5 people in this group, and so on down. The problem with this method is we don't really know what age these people are. Were they all 24? Were they all 30? Or just under 30? So what do we do in those cases? We end up using the mid-interval value. That means we take the average, the middle of, the middle would be a better way to say it, of these numbers here. So the middle of 24 to 30 is actually 7. So middle of 24 to 30 is actually 7. So if we change this from 24 to, sorry, I said 7, 27 I mean. Let's put it above it here, 27. The middle of these numbers, let me just jot them down here. It will be 33, and so on. I'll edit out me doing it. Okay, so that's the mid-interval value. That's what we do. The question here is that we're missing a number. We're missing K here. We don't know what this is, but they do tell us what the overall mean, the mean age, the average age of the whole population is 40.4. Find what K is. This is not a difficult question. This is, I would say, an ordinary level question, except numbers get big and messy and there's a bit weird. Students make mistakes on these questions so often. Not because they're difficult, because they're just long and awkward and you have to write so many different numbers down. So really, on these type of questions, just be careful, be slow, be careful, you should be fine. So how do we find the mean? What we have now is we have 4 people that are 27 years old. That's what we're going to think of. We have 5 people that are 33 years old. We have 9 people that are 39. So let's just add all these people up and divide by the total number of people. So there's 4 27-year-olds. That's 27 plus 27 plus 27. Or we'll of course multiply instead of adding all that out. And we'd get their ages add up to, let me just put a box around that. Their ages add up to 108. That's the 4 27-year-olds. Again, 5 times 33 is 150 plus another 15, 165. And so on down. We get 351. We get, this was the one that gets interesting. 45 multiplied by K. It's the best we can do for the moment. 4 times 51 is 204. and 2 times 57 is 114. That's their total ages. How do we get the mean? We add all this together. We add all of this together and then we divide by how many people there are. How many people are there? There's 4 here, another 5, another 9, another 4, another 2. We add all that up. Let's see, that's 9, 18, 20, 24. There's our problem. It's 24 plus some unknown number k. So we're left with a bit of maths. Let's clean up this whole top row here. We'll add all this together. Just throw in your calculator. Like, just be careful. Be slowly doing it. Do it twice and things like that. I get 942, and I could have made a mistake. So you double check me. I get 942 on the top plus this 45k on the bottom. Well, I already added that up, didn't I? I get 24 plus this unknown k. But I do know the answer. I know the answer is equal to 40.4. And at this point, we have an equation with only one thing we don't know, the k's. So we should be able to go ahead and solve this. Multiply both sides by this bottom row. I haven't left myself that much room, but let's do it all here. 942 plus 45k is equal to 40.4 multiplied by 24 plus k. Clean this up. I'd get some numbers out. Well, let me get back to my notes here. 942 plus 45k is equal to 969.6. That's 40 times 24 here, plus 40.4 times k. Get all the k's on the same side, move them over this side. 45 minus 40.4, we can do that in our head, that's 4.6 k's is equal 969.6. Take away 942. I won't do that in my head. I'll use a calculator. I'll use my notes. 27.6. K is equal to 27.6 divided by 4.6. We cross our fingers that it's a whole number. Otherwise, we'd be in a bit of trouble. But it comes out 6. So there's 6 people. Remember, it has to be a whole number. We're talking about people here. Can't be 6.2 and expect you're right. You made a mistake somewhere if you didn't get a whole number here. So the answer to this question is 6. Nothing too complicated in that, but so much room to make mistakes. All these numbers and decimals and so on. Okay, that's it for question 4. If you have any comments, any questions you'd like to ask me, or if you see a mistake I made and like to point it out, let me know in the comments. And do me a favour, use a timestamp just so it helps me answer the question. Thanks for watching and have a great day.